You're watching KLST Local News First with Carolyn McEnroe and Chief Meteorologist Chris Boone. This is KLST News at 5.
Welcome back. Tara with the San Angelo State Park is here to talk about what all's going on during the month of April. Nice to see you.
Yeah, happy to be here.
First of all, tell us how the Centennial celebration went.
Really good. Yeah, we had over 300 people come, even though it was a little chilly that day, but it turned out really good. Only thing, we had to postpone our star party to the end of this month, so hopefully we have good weather.
We'll talk about, well, actually, let's talk about that right now. That's coming up when, and what is it?
The 28th, so it's the last Friday, the last weekend of April. We'll have Andy Oliver from Angelo Astronomy come out. We'll set up a few different telescopes, and hopefully we'll see some cool planets and stars and stuff like that.
Where does that take place, and what time do you have to be there?
I believe it's 8 p.m. on the south side at the Chaparral Pavilion. So it'll
Is that where you, after you go through the main south entrance gate, you just keep driving straight?
Yeah, so you keep driving straight all the way past the playground, the first set of campsites, and you kind of like loop around to the pavilion. And
that's the pavilion with seating too, so it's kind of a gathering area and lots of parking too. And again, what day of the week is that?
It's a Friday. I would recommend to bring your own chair. We have picnic tables underneath the pavilion, but you're going to want to be out to
so
look
you can see.
Yeah,
right. It's good to have a chair for the telescope. All right, let's talk about what happens on Saturday, the day before Easter.
Yes, we'll have a bison longhorn viewing with a ranger, me, and so we'll pull them up at 9 a.m. at the viewing area, which is on the south side as well. Pull them up to the fence, and then we'll feed them. I'll be there to talk about them, answer any questions and stuff like that.
Now, the viewing area, do you go, you turn right after you go through the main gate, right?
Yeah, so you'll get to the gatehouse, turn right, and go down a couple hundred feet, and it's right there on their right side.
And you need to be there kind of close to 9, right? About how long do they stay around?
The bison will hang around for a couple hours. They usually like to eat and then take a nap right there. So,
we were just talking about, as the weather gets warmer, this is that weird time of year, but they have those really big, thick winter coats. What happens to that this time of year?
They are starting to shed, so you'll see them rubbing on fence posts, branches. We have pieces of metal pipe sticking up out of the ground that they use to
to
scratch their bellies or sides. So yeah, they look a little patchy, scruffy,
sure,
but that's normal. They're supposed to do that. Stuff's getting warmer, so
get rid of that big winter coat. When do they calve normally?
Around this time of year, so hopefully we'll see some babies. We don't know if any. I'm not super knowledgeable on to tell if they're pregnant from just looking at them.
Right.
But if they are going to have calves, it'll be coming up in the next couple months or so.
And they obviously come up when you call them.
Yeah, they know
for
it's
people to see.
Time.
That's exciting.
Yes.
And again, what time is that?
9 a.m. this Saturday.
Okay, what else happens on Saturday?
This Saturday, that's all we'll have. And then the end of the month, the last weekends, we'll have our Star Party Friday. That Saturday, we'll do a sunset hike. And then the last Sunday, we'll do our women's hike. And we've had really good turnout for that.
All right, the bluebonnets, you said you saw your first bluebonnet today?
Yes, yeah, by the gatehouse, a little tiny one. So hopefully there's more eventually. But that also brings me to our friends group, Silver Bluebonnet Day, May 3rd. Yes, and so it's a program for senior citizens are geared towards them, and then they can come out and drive through the park. They'll have a park tour and a bunch of other stuff they have going on. They just ask that you RSVP with our friends group.
You are a what?
If you could RSVP if they're interested in coming.
And how do you do that?
Yes, so you'll call Linda Ashton at 325-656-4322.
And she's the leader, the longtime leader of the Friends of the San Angelo State Park. Tell us a little bit about what they do.
So she's actually the new president. Ruth Jordan was the previous president. Linda took over, and they pretty much help us and support the park in ways that sometimes it would take us a little longer to do it, but they're a great help. They always come out and help me with programs and events, and they're wonderful people that do a lot for our park and couldn't do a lot of things without it.
And what day again? What day is Bluebonnet Day?
That is Wednesday, May 3rd.
Which is coming up, so we think May's a long way away, but it's really not. It's coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
Time flies. It does. All right. So Saturday, really be there around 9 o'clock or so, and you can see the bison. And then the Star Party is Friday, the 28th. And take a chair.
Yeah, take a chair.
How long does that usually last?
We're shooting for about 2 hours, so from 8 to 10 or so. That's when the day use the day use people have to leave by 10. So hopefully we have some cool viewings and stuff at that point. It's about 2 hours or so.
We have to wait for it to get to dark first because it's doing that later in the day.
Yeah, so hopefully with the sunsets, I think around 8:30 or so at that time. So
get settled.
By 9, hopefully.
Things are great. Hopefully you have clear weather. Tara, nice to see you. Thank you. We're gonna